Uh, Derek, how you doing, man? Pleasure to have you here. Awesome. I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time out to join us and be our guest speaker today. And we'll get into like your introduction in a sec, but just wanted to quickly introduce the community itself and what we're trying to do here, and then jump right into this workshop. So, first and foremost, my name is Eddie Beto. I'm a freelance software engineer. Let me talk over here. Actually, I'm a freelance software engineer, a technical instructor as well, and I run a YouTube channel. I'm also running this community called Built by Builders, which is a tech community that is focused on underserved engineers in urban communities. And our goal is to just connect everyone and provide them with an outlet to share ideas and build projects and kind of just work in a space, in a comfortable space, to really get their ideas out. And we focus not just on developers, but we focus on HR builders, design builders, developer builders, engineers, software builders, hardware builders, and so on and so forth. So there's a couple of type of builders that we have available in our community, and we want to strengthen that bond between those type of outlets between all the type of builders. So the ultimate goal is to, again, just to get folks in the community and get them exposed to different type of builders throughout the nation, really. So because we're on Discord, so it allows us to really get out there and be remote and international in a sense. So we have some folks from Brazil that just joined us yesterday, so that's pretty exciting. um so yeah, I'll stop there, but join us. I'll supply the link. This will be streamed on YouTube as well, so I'll supply the link at the bottom of the description. You can find information about the community, about myself and Derek as well, and I'm very sure Derek will share his information throughout his talk. And yeah, so I just want to actually hand it on to you, Derek. Again, thank you for stopping by, and I'm gonna let you introduce yourself and get into this. And also, by the way, some folks may be joining us because it is open to our community. We are doing this right on Discord itself, so some folks may be jumping in. So don't be started if you hear some rumbling, but we'll definitely. I'll try to do a good job of keeping things toned down so that it doesn't disrupt Derek's talk. So, Derek.
Appreciate you, Eddie. Like I said to you before, you have birthed many of coders. Eddie is an amazing teacher. He's done taught me a few things. Like even though I don't code, just the mindset that you have to be in. Just so thank you for creating this space. I think this is going to be like a great space for a lot of people to come in. I've shared it with like a few people, and it's cool to see like some familiar faces also. But like Eddie said, my name is Derek Stroman. I'm the founder of What Now Works. Basically, what now? I'll go into more of like what about like like what now works is in like the slides, but basically taking my HR background, kind of getting to learn how companies operate in like the back, and basically bringing all of that info to you, bringing that to you, bringing back how companies are hiring, what are they trying to find, giving you all of those secrets. And what I do basically is just consult with companies with their talent acquisition. So if they're looking for people, I'll go into the career board that me and Eddie shared, because it's going to be very very helpful with regards to what's going on and like what I'm seeing also. But I'm going to share my screen. Let me know if it looks good, Eddie. Go live. Do I just click go live,
Yeah,
or is it?
I think you should click go live. There you go. I see you. We're good.
All right,
Amazing.
you see it?
Yep. Perfect.
All right, dope.
Amazing.
Cool. So, um, with what we're going to be talking about today is basically how to jumpstart your job search. Reason being is because now with everything that's happening, COVID has literally slapped the workforce. So giving you the strategies you need, whether it be active or passive, to make sure that you're still getting in front of employers. Believe it or not, it may not seem like it, but people are still hiring. It's just that you have to find your way to kind of, go through that noise and stuff like that. So what I'm going to be sharing now is a couple of strategies that I've used in like the past that have worked for me. So I'll give you my like full, this worked for me, this didn't work for me, as well as things that you should, other ways or other things that you can do to possibly kind of go throughout your job search. Quick little background: I'm a CUNY grad, graduated from the City College, but like I said before, taking what I learned from my career in human resources and just bring it back. CUNY is in the building. There we go. There we go. And just bringing that back, I feel like a lot of people are like holding a lot of info, and if you wanted to learn how the companies operate, I felt it was my duty to kind of go inside of these companies and kind of figure that stuff out and just bring all of that info back to one, the people that are watching this, as well as anybody who's looking to break into any type of job. More about what now works. Like I said before, we are adapting companies and job seekers to the new paradigm of business and bridging the gap between skills and the workforce demands. This is a twofold business. On one end, like I said before, I'm working with companies like one on one, doing some talent acquisition, helping them with like their like creating like hiring pipelines, but also helping career seekers kind of upskill. So we think about like your resume, your interviewing, your LinkedIn profile, giving you all of the secrets of what I'm learning from the spaces that I'm in, and how it can kind of help you become more hireable. So what we're going to be going through is one, what you need to know, some passive strategies, some active strategies, and then actually taking you through all of the tools that we're going to be going through. Um, so I think this is going to be, a very cool thing because one, like I said before, these are strategies that I've used. Some may work better for you, or so depending on what your, I guess, how you kind of go about your job search, you can choose between which of these strategies. And Eddie, if you do got questions, feel free to ask me. All right.
Okay, we'll do.
Cool. So first slide. Does any of this sound familiar? My resume goes into a black hole when I apply. There's no way that I can stand out to get this job, and I didn't hear back from an employer, so I must not be a good fit. I've heard all three of these things, and right now we are about to debunk all of these myths. These are things that can happen, but there's ways around it. My theory is that if there's a wall in front of you, you have three ways. You can either go over it, under it, or through it. You don't just stop there. So
Mm.
we're going to talk about certain tools that can get you past these three things. But before we get there, I want to kind of give you like the process of what the job searching process is, the ideal situation. For those who are, kind of new to applying to jobs, this may be like your first job. You may have graduated like some type of boot camp, or you're in a some type of a program. For those who have gone through this process, you know like what it is. But I think it's good to kind of get a sense of what like the actual process is. So when you're first starting to find your job, you're either applying on a job board, through social media, or you're using a recruiter. Um, this is you're going on like Indeed, Monster, something like that, posting like your resume. Hopefully, you get a hit back, and then from there, where your resume is normally going is through an applicant tracking system. For those who don't know what an applicant tracking system is, it's often referred to as an ATS. Basically, this is the system that employers use to kind of filter out through like all of the resumes that they get. Just think about it. For any role that an employer puts out, they're getting between 250 and 300 resumes for that one role. So rather than going through reading every one and every line, they use this applicant tracking system, put certain keywords in it to where if your resume has these keywords, it's going to get picked up. So we'll go into more details about that later. But typically, in an ideal world, after that happens, you have to. It's the waiting game. You apply, it takes probably like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, probably a month till the employer hears back from you. But eventually, hopefully, you will hear back from them. And when that happens, the first thing is always like a phone screen to where you're either talking to somebody from like human resources or probably like the first level of whatever that team is. And this is mostly to just verify all the credentials, making sure that you know like what the skills that you say that you know. You'll probably get questions like, "What are your strengths? Why do you want to work here?" Questions like that, just so they can kind of get a feel to see if you'll be like a good fit. And when I say fit, think of like a culture fit.
Mm.
After you pass that, then eventually you're moving on to see like to meet like the actual team. It could be either like a one-on-one, you and two people, a panel. Companies have like interview days where it can last for like a full day. But just know that every company has like their own way of just like doing this. But just know that this is the part where you're actually getting to meet the people. So you're probably gonna meet with like managers, hiring managers, VP, sometimes like the CEO if it's like a smaller company. So depending on the size of the company, kind of really goes hand in hand on like what that process is. You might have like multiple rounds. You may have like one round with this person, two rounds with this person. I know some companies out there the process could probably take like 2 weeks, and you're just meeting people constantly over and over again. And then after you ace all of those, eventually you're hired. So this is the ideal job searching process from start to finish. Finish meaning that you got the job.
Mm. I actually don't have a question, but more of a like an experience with the actual slide you just was
Okay.
referencing. Uh, I noticed, and it's probably
Mhm.
obvious to a lot of people, but I noticed that like a lot of smaller companies are quicker to respond to, at least through my experiences, to me as far as like getting back to me about like going to the next step. So like I would apply and go through their app, whatever app ATS they're using, and I'm noticing that they're quicker to respond as far as like, hey, let's go through the first, second, third round. I'm meeting a lot of people quicker through small to mid-sized companies versus like the bigger ones for obvious reasons, because of, you mentioned like there's so many people applying to that one job. Um, but yeah, I
Yeah.
for example, like I just interviewed with code.org, and I applied to them not too long ago, and they got back to me quick. And I went through the first round, the filter round. I haven't heard from them since, like it's only been a couple of days, but like just the process itself is a lot quicker. So versus like me applying for a job on LinkedIn, one of those bigger companies that like that black hole he's talking about, just I never heard back from them. Every job I applied for on LinkedIn, I never heard back, and I've been applying for like for 4 to 6 months. So it's a very interesting like to see that play out.
Yeah.
It kind of like you may get into this, but it kind of like dictates like you want to strategize a little more about like how you're applying for jobs and who you're applying for, the size of the company, and the type of like you know uh, the type of work they do, whether it's like fintech or ed tech or something like that. It really makes you
Mhm.
think a little more deeper.
And just to touch upon that, a lot of companies that the ones that I've been helping, they have too many like places where they're posting their jobs. So they can
Mm,
post their job on like LinkedIn, but then on their website they'll have like a job posting, and then they'll put it on like Indeed or something. So you have multiple job postings where all these people are like applying to it, but they're not keeping track of each and every one of them. So a lot of the
interesting.
times I'm just going in there looking at, kind of breaking down like their hiring strategy, like, yo, focus on one stream. because if you go with these other streams, you're gonna get you're going to get lost. And then on top of that, you have candidates that have applied, and then that kind of goes like a long way because if people had a bad experience applying, like just and just like people talk, they're like, "Yo, I applied for this job like last month and I haven't heard back a word yet. Don't do it." And then next thing you know, that company gets no one to apply for their job. So
And that happens a lot.
that's one of the problems that I'm trying to help solve too.
Yeah, candidates
Yeah.
speak. We gossip amongst each other, like, "Hey, what's going on with this? Did you hear back?" Yeah, it happens all the time. So if there's a like a not okay experience, then it's like it
Mhm.
deters others to apply just through word of mouth. Like, "Hey, don't bother because they're not gonna get back to you," or something like that. It
Exactly.
depends.
Hmm. That's dope. Let me just go to the next slide because we're going to talk about the different strategies. So you have your passive strategy to where you're just applying on job boards or you're using recruiters. Um, Pretty sure everybody's familiar with Indeed, Glassdoor, Monster. Career Builder is like another job board, and this is where you're basically just putting your resume up there. You may have like a profile to fill out and stuff like that, and you're literally just applying through there. Um, Recruiters also, well, so going back to the job boards quick, the reason why it's passive is because you're not very active with it. You're just putting it up there and just seeing like who bites. Another popular job board is Dice, and they'll have recruiters just reach out to you always. But when you're using recruiters, it's not on you to find the job. If they don't get you placed, they don't get paid. So for them, they're like, oh, this person just applied. Let me try and get them hired so I can eat. But basically, so it's more on them to kind of make sure that you are hired. So that's why it's passive because you're not doing much. When it comes to the more active, you're using websites like LinkedIn, IG, Twitter, probably Snapchat, Slack, Eventbrite, and Upwork. These
Hmm.
are sites that I've used where people are literally posting jobs. People are saying like, "Hey, I just did this project. Take a look at it. Tell me like what's wrong with it, or if there's any bugs." And then you'll have people that are working at these companies reach out like, "Hey, this is a cool like project," and then out of that you can get like some type of talk going to where they're like, "Yo, like we're hiring." So it really starts with just putting yourself out there. That's the more active side of just putting yourself out there. Eventbrite, not so much now because COVID, but back when pre COVID, me and Eddie used to always go to these events and just like chop it up.
Yeah, man. Good times.
Upwork is something I've started. Yeah, yeah, fun times, fun times. Free food too.
Yes.
Yeah. So Upwork, for those who aren't familiar with Upwork, it's a freelancer website to where you will have people that are posting jobs, like look like small contracts basically. So help me fix this, or I need like a logo for that. This is a good way for you to kind of one working with like a client just to kind of see because I feel like freelancing is like another avenue that a lot of people are taking it out, especially with the world is kind of in like this like this virtual space. Sometimes on Upwork, if you do like a great job, they'll probably ask you to be on like their team because their team is so small and they've seen how much like impact that you've caused. So being active on that, just putting yourself out there, doing like projects and stuff like that, posting your projects on like LinkedIn. Eddie, he does like his code loans, which is great. So he has all eyes on him. So I advise everybody to do things like that. I should have put up like a YouTube the icon here, but you can definitely do like an IG story of you coding, a Snapchat of it. I don't know if you want to do probably like a TikTok of it, but something like that. Just getting social with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely that's a good strategy, and I need to do more of the IG stuff as far as like just planting my camera and me coding
Mhm.
and talking about it. I think that's a great approach.
Yeah. These are the tools that we're going to be talking about today. These are 4 tools. One of them I found this morning and I was like, I got to talk about this. So the first one is JobScan, and this is going to get you past that resume black hole that we spoke about. Scrap is going to make sure that you're able to get the direct contact of whomever you want to reach out to. LinkedIn, because it's LinkedIn, you should, if you're looking for jobs, you should definitely have your LinkedIn. Like no ifs, ands, or buts. The tool that I literally just discovered was called JobSeer. So I'm gonna describe to you what these programs are, and then after we're gonna go through them. All right. So first tool, JobScan. JobScan is a tool that gives job seekers an instant analysis of how well their resume is tailored for a particular job and how it can be better optimized for an applicant tracking system. Uh, exactly what it says is exactly what it does.
Mm.
How JobScan works is basically what you do is you would basically get a job description from wherever, and post or kind of copy and paste your the resume. Once you click try, I think there's like a button that says like compare or something like that. Like we'll go through it, but then it basically just breaks it down. Like, hey, because like your job description didn't have like these words, you're not such a good match of it. So it better helps you kind of get past that applicant tracking system to where if they're looking for someone who does like SQL and your resume doesn't have SQL, you can put SQL on there and then you'll get picked up by their applicant tracking system. It grades you on like from a 0 to 100. They say like 80. If you're like around like an 80, that's like good. But it definitely tests you on your hard skills, your soft skills, your job titles
Mm.
that you had in the past. Like I said before, keywords, as well as like if there's any like college experience you had, or if they have college experience requirements. What I will say is that you have a lot of companies who are kind of getting rid of that, so don't be too worried if you don't have like the correct credential. The bottom, www.jobscan.co. But once again, I'll show you how that looks later on.
So
The
this
next tool is Scrap.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was gonna just say this lends itself to like
Oh,
constantly updating your resume then because if you're matching job descriptions and you're kind of slowing down the process a little bit because that takes a little time, then you're constantly like changing your resume to like tailor that job description. So that's like definitely more work, but it's like more like quality versus quantity of applications at that point.
yeah. Yeah, quality over quantity, exactly. And excuse me. Also, what I will say is that you're once you kind of get a sense of what kind of role you want, the job descriptions look the exact same.
Oh yeah.
So you probably won't have to do like a bunch of changing. So if you go through like I want to do like I want to be like UX the UR, and then you kind of go through like a couple of them. They're gonna have the same keywords, the same thing. So it's probably not. You probably won't have to do as much like changing, but as you go through it, you'll kind of see like this person is asking for this, or this is a common skill that a lot of people are trying to find.
Good point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Next tool is called Scrap. This is a business to business sales, email, and marketing tool to where you can basically find people's emails. Uh, I found this because I'm like, if I'm working in sales, how are these people getting like emails and stuff like that? So I'm like, you know what? Why can't I use the same tools that they're doing? And I came up on Scrap. There's other tools such as like Hunter.io. That's another one where you can find people's emails. It's a Chrome extension that you can kind of look at people's like websites, go through like their LinkedIn profiles, and it'll show you what their emails is. One thing I will say is that it may not always be right, but it is right a lot of times in terms of what
Mm.
the email is. You have like it could be like your first initial last name, your like your first name dot last name at such and such.com. But taking that sales mindset and just using this tool, I think was a great move, not only for me because it really allowed me to kind of get in front of the right people. Like I don't want to talk to um, you know, the person who's not hiring. I'd rather talk to the hiring manager rather than the one who's like, well, I mean, you would want to talk to the recruiter too, but getting directly in front of those people rather than having to go through that applicant tracking system. That's always been like my key when it comes to like job searching. Another cool thing about this tool is that it allows you like I said, Hunter was like one that you can possibly use. They allow you, I think, 50 searches per month or something like that.
Mhm.
Scrap gives you 150, so I'd rather the 150 over the 50.
Do they provide
Next, we have LinkedIn.
mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, do they provide email templates? Because like I'm thinking about code emails and code outreach. Like, do they provide that kind of strategies on how to like what to say? not to
Um,
come off, spammy or anything like that.
yeah, yeah. I don't believe so. What I can do is once I get to the website that we have, I can add the email templates that I have
Mm,
and just kind of share that with everybody here. But
nice.
they don't provide that though. When it comes to LinkedIn, like I said, if you are in the job searching phase, you have to have a LinkedIn. Um, these are like some of the easiest 5 ways that you can improve your LinkedIn profile. One is just making sure that it's up to date. Let's say for instance, if I'm working at like Facebook right now, but it's not on my LinkedIn profile, you kind of want to have it match just because it makes it look like as if you're well not active, but you're actively just making sure that when people go to your profile, like they can see like what's going on, especially if you're looking to like be hired or kind of move from like another job. Going back to those keywords, uh, funny enough, I always use LinkedIn as like a search tool rather than like LinkedIn itself. So, just a quick tip: if you want to search, let's say for instance, if you're looking for a company that champions diversity, right? Um, diversity is not. I mean, you have like your chief diversity officer, like that's a title. But if you just type in diversity in like the LinkedIn search bar, you'll pop up. You'll see everybody who's like focused on that.
Mm,
And then you can kind of just start the conversation from there. Using search terms like "we are hiring." Put put that in there, and you'll get a list of people that have that within like their keyword section. That also goes along with like the headline and like the photo. Um, photo, there's ways to where you can kind of hide it from people who you don't want to see it. Just because for privacy reasons. But for if you're looking for a job, there's a way where you can kind of only show it to people who are actively hiring. There's like a setting for that within the LinkedIn. Uh, have LinkedIn mimic your resume. And when I say that, not just putting in like this is what I did this task, I did this task, like accomplishments, accomplishments, accomplishments. I did X that caused XYZ, or I raised XYZ amount of dollars because of this. I grew my company's like following by X amount. Put those stats in there because it's very important that people see that. People really
mm,
don't care what you do; they want to see the impact that you can actually make. Um, Something that I do that I look at other people's profiles and see like, hey, maybe I should add that, or I should be talking about this on like when I share a post or something like that. So taking a look at other profiles that are out there and seeing like, hey, I should be using if I'm looking for this type of role. These are the keywords that they have. Maybe I should add that to my profile. So just copy people's profiles. Um, the last thing I have about LinkedIn, I believe it's a couple of stats for you. So 132% increase LinkedIn views if you have a picture,
mm,
more than 100. 44,000 applications are submitted through LinkedIn daily. Eddie, this goes back to when you applied. That's probably why, because there's so much going through. And then 94% of recruiters use LinkedIn to vet the candidates. Without even seeing you face to face, they're going to your LinkedIn first. If you're looking for any job within tech, they're looking at your GitHub. Like these are things that they have to check first before they even reach out to you. So with that being said, I kind of wanted to shift gears into going into more of like the tools themselves, just so we can see them in action. So the first tool we have is job scan. Cool. So JobScan. This is it, jobscan.co. What it does, they have a LinkedIn optimization too. I've never used it before, but I'm pretty sure it does like the same thing in terms of like finding out what keywords you would need. So you would start off by uploading your resume. Let's find a job to kind of go to Indeed because I want to copy the job description.
mm. I never done this before, man. I
I'm,
got, I got.
yeah, man.
Yeah, but this is these are gold nuggets you're throwing at me and for the other builders as well who's gonna watch this afterwards. Yeah, I just kind of while you're looking for the job posting, I just kind of just rely on LinkedIn
Mhm.
to kind of push jobs to me based off my query searches or my job alerts. I never like proactively
Yeah.
go out and compare
Mhm.
my resume to the job description and do all this analysis stuff. So this is amazing.
Yeah. I say this as like if it's a place that I really want to work at, I'll save that for that because I would want to make sure that my resume like gets seen.
Yes, good point.
So let's pick this position here, data analyst. Let's see what it says. Cool. All right. We're gonna just no. First, we're gonna go back there. Upload your resume. It's actually normally it would ask you before to just kind of. Oh, now they want you to. Okay. All right. So let me just. I have a sample resume here. Resume trick. Whenever you're uploading your resume to any like profile, do not include your email, your name, your phone number, uh, any identifiable stuff, just because you don't want people to know that it's you. And to be honest, I don't really trust a bunch of these like websites that are free because I'm pretty sure they're collecting data. So make sure that your stuff is there's nothing there that can tie it back to you.
Interesting.
So just let me download this fake resume. Yeah,
I would
I
be
mean
the
that I feel like that's just me just being me.
no, but I would be the one who put my name and everything, just copy the whole thing. But I didn't even think about that. That's a good point.
Yeah. So we're gonna head back over to job scan, dump the resume, analyzing your resume. All right, I'm gonna go back to the job description, copy, paste, and then scan. Scanning.
Hmm.
Match rate is zero. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, there you go. 21%.
21. Cool. So it says that 80 is normally yeah is normally like a good match.
Ooh.
But once you do this for the first time, definitely go through the tour where it explains like what each the section does. But as you see, the ATS findings, recruiter findings, skills match, formatting checks, cover letter we don't have. Um, it says we're missing four important high value skills. The education match is fine. Job title match, it's not there. Section heading. So this is like education, work experience, like making sure that that's found there. Um, the dates, word count. I guess your don't make your resume if you can 1 page tops. Just because it's a lot of words. So 314 is good. Words to avoid, that's fine.
Hmm.
Page size. So this is like a premium thing, but it goes into the hard skills that you have on your resume that's on here, data quality, internship, soft skills. It goes into like I don't think you need like I don't think the soft skills are like as important, but um, having those like hard skills, job recommendations, it connects to Indeed too also, so that's also cool. But that's basically how you would use like JobScan. Easy to use. Oh, and trick. I believe JobScan gives you like a limited amount of times to kind of scan your job or to kind of just match your resume to whatever job you're trying to get. But so make sure you clear your cookies. If you clear your cookies, you can use it as many times as
That's funny. Yeah,
possible.
I was gonna ask, is there like a paywall that I'm gonna run against, and how many times can I use this? So, there is no paywall. It's just a matter of like clearing your cookies and just keep
That's it.
matching. Yeah. Wow. Um, amazing. Yeah, this definitely is an
Yeah,
eye
most
opener
good.
for me, man. This is neat. I love data. I love seeing like
Mhm.
information about me and where I'm at as far as like this job search is concerned. But I'm definitely gonna start this using this tonight because yeah, it definitely helped me
Dope.
fine tune my resume, man. This is dope.
Cool, cool. So I think you'll like the next tool too. Next tool is pretty. It's pretty. I feel like searching for a job is like a job within like itself. But like, I mean, to me, this is what I do, so it's fine. But next tool is Scrap. So once you go to Scrap, it's a Chrome extension that you would have to put on. This is what it looks like here. It has like the like this blue square with the white S. You create like a profile. Like I said, if you have like an email that you don't use that. If they ask you, I don't think they ask you for like your the resume here because this is for like B2B stuff. But I want to show you what it looks like on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, just so you know about LinkedIn, they don't have a bunch of like tools that can kind of pull data from there just because they want people to pay for it. And a lot of these free tools, they don't have access to it. But I just want to show you like how it works. So I know before I mentioned that rather than searching for like titles, we're gonna search for like phrases. So I'm gonna put we are hiring, right?
Hmm.
And people. And basically what's gonna happen now is gonna pop open everybody who has we are hiring in like their see everybody. Head of university recruiting at Twitter, CEO at CB Insights. I mean he's hiring talent acquisition. These are like the um the job titles you want to find, like recruiter, anything dealing with like talent, diversity. Those are like the top words that you want to find. Um, Now how Scrap works, you see it pops up here. It says export with email finder. If I click on that, right, it should pop up. Now, what I'm able to do is scan the full page of all the people that are here. What I'm going to be doing is search for email addresses and only save the leads with found emails only.
Mm.
You can also create like your own like list of where to put people in. So I'll just use this before because I had one where I was trying to find people for job fair. So job fair hit list and launch email finder, and you see 0 to 150 used, and it gives you hey like we only found 9 out of the full page. Um, so leads were saved successfully. So I'll show you how that looks. Actually, I'll show you now. So
Hey,
let's go to
can I stop you real quick, Derek?
yeah.
How I totally
So
missed how did you? Is that like a plugin? So when you create the account with Scrap, it integrates with
yeah,
LinkedIn.
yeah, yeah. So once it's a Chrome extension. So
Ah,
once you download the Chrome extension, you'll be able to do that. Yeah, yeah.
gotcha.
So this is it right here. I'll show you how it works too. But um, with all the people who I just just got like the head of talent person like this, these are all their emails.
That's amazing.
Another cool thing is that they kind of give you like insights about like the company too, like how it was founded, location and stuff like that. So if you wanted to, you can hit up Larry Cohen and be like, "Hey Larry, I applied for such and such a job. Just making sure that you know, and I'm very interested in working at such and such role. Can we set up a time to kind of talk, or can you connect me to anybody at the company?" So you can also download this as like a CSV. Just so if you want to hit everybody at once, you can do that. But like I said, you're only in up here. It says only 9 of 150 credits were used. So you for the month. I feel like 150 is like enough. Um, but if you want to, something that I've done when I was like actively searching, just use like another email. So if I use another email, that's 300 credits. If I use another email, that's 450 credits. So
The cheat code.
so going back to LinkedIn with Scrap, let's say if I click on profile, Monique, I'll put this in short picture if it does. Sorry, Monique, you won't live right now. I don't think it will. Cool. Um, okay. So we have the same group. So cool. If I click on the scrap icon, the Chrome extension up here, basically what happens is it'll kind of just give me her email without even having to scan the entire page. So this is another way that you can use Scrap without using all of your credits. You can just like, okay, I have her email, cool, and then that's it. Because now you didn't use any of your credits, like it just scanned like really quick. Scrap also, if you go to like any company website, you can use Scrap there, and it'll scrape the page for emails too, kind of like Hunter does. I just like Scrap better because it can work with the LinkedIn. And I feel like a lot of these people that are hiring are using this tool. So if I can reach them through here or kind of get their info from here, it's a lot easier. Um, like I said, with LinkedIn, think of not only when you're using LinkedIn, don't just think of it as like this is my online resume. Like if you're trying to search for jobs, like really think of like different phrases like diverse team, and make sure to look for it in people or just click and see like what pops up. Like think of phrases that people are looking to hire for. You can kind of go into depth. If it will show, you can go to people. You can create like more like filters and stuff like that to where you
Mm.
can kind of just narrow it down from like 3 million. If I click in like New York, the type of company, then I'll get. Let's see. I'm click on filters. Connections now. You don't need that. Locations. You can put New York. Uh, don't they have like Greater New York or something like that?
They
Let's
usually
just put
do.
like just New York
Mm.
right now. Um, yeah, current company. If you wanted somebody who was if you want to work for AWS, if you so for me, looking for people who went to CUNY is always like one of my things because people who went to CUNY always want to help like other CUNY people. So you can type in school, the industry, computer software, and just show results. So that takes that 3 million down to let's see, 27, which is a much easier thing for me to undo. So just when you're using LinkedIn, use it as a search tool rather than just I'm on LinkedIn and posting stuff. Like actually, if you're looking for people, look up terms rather than just like titles and all that. But that's pretty much how you would use JobScan, Scrap, as well as LinkedIn. I do want to show you the last tool that I just got, so I'm gonna head to it now. So I'm gonna be doing this live with everybody.
Hey,
Um,
why, why,
so I'm
why,
gonna use Chrome. I'm gonna use some Brave.
while you're
Yeah.
doing that, yeah, I just had a more like an observation and a question. So my observation was basically that blew my mind because I never search terms that's correlated to their title or their I forget what LinkedIn calls it, like
Mm,
their subheading or their title. And the fact that you just typed
mm,
in, we're hiring, and those pop up, it didn't register me to do something like that. So that blew my mind. So because I'm used to just searching names or like going through connections or
mm.
a company. I never like thought about that. So that's definitely something of value to me. So I'm gonna start using that. My question is, what's
Yeah, man.
what's the difference? So you're saying it's a better direct connection if I go through a scrap and like query their like the company's emails and do a direct email from my Gmail versus going through LinkedIn and the LinkedIn route, which is like finding them and connecting with them and waiting a couple of days for them to accept, and then do the cold email through like a third party platform like LinkedIn. So you're saying like it's a better like return on investment if I do the scrap way and like go right to their email ASAP and like doing some legwork, finding the email and then like direct like connecting to them that way. You understand?
Yeah, the way how I see it is that I'd rather get in front of the person as soon as possible. So if I'm using Scrap to kind of filter out those emails, cool. But I can also, if I know if a company that I'm trying to work at, and rather than going through all of your credits and just saving them, you can just go to that profile and just click on the extension and just get their email like really quick without
Mm,
having to use any of like those credits. So when you're using Scrap, when you're searching, it scrapes the whole page for how like I think it's like 10 people on like per page. So it scrapes all 10. If they have emails, then they get saved. It's just if you're gonna go like the route where you're searching for terms and just scraping, you can get a lot more done like page by page rather than looking at a specific person checking and then writing like that email out. So
mm. Is it too much if I were to, like, if I do the scrap way and reach out in the cold email through like my Gmail account? Is it too much if I also, in addition to them, hit that connect with me button on LinkedIn, so they're like getting hit twice at the same
uh,
time? Is that overdoing it?
yeah, what what you would do is you would first apply to that job um, through like whatever applicant tracking system that they're using. Send that cold email and connect with them. The
Okay.
reason why you're doing all three is because when you send the cold email, you can be like, hey, I applied to such and such role. You know, hope you got like the resume. Would love to kind of learn more about the role and see how I would be like a good fit. Now that person's thinking like, oh, this person applied and they sent me an email. So rather your resume going into that black hole, they're going to tell whoever is in charge of that applicant tracking system, hey, look out for Eddie. Eddie applied.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
hit them from every which way possible.
It's two piece and a biscuit.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that.
Um so yeah, please do, please do. So like I said before, JobShare was a tool I found like literally this morning. It is free. It has a lot of like I like it a lot because it does a lot. I'm gonna show you two websites that you can use possibly to use it on. Um you have Indeed. I know they have more sites, but these are the two that I've tried it on this morning. It was Indeed and LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, it kind of works the same way, um, but a little bit different when it comes to like finding people's emails. So I do believe I have the extension. I think I uploaded the resume. Um, Now we're gonna head over to the job title to start. Just I'll use data analyst because that's what I was using before. Uh, Job title that I saw intern. Um, with like data scientists, data engineering. It says skill set, then you'll add your skills. I'll put Python, machine learning, big data, Hadoop, Spark, data analysis, and data science. For location, I'll put New York or greater New York area. So there you go. Experience level, I'll check off internship, entry, job type. I'll put in full time internship. Let's see what happens and search jobs. So now what it does, it basically does like a very um like what's the word I'm looking for? Not string, like a very focused the Boolean search
Mm.
to where everything that I entered on like the side here would pop up. So now that I put my resume in, it's basically matching my resume to the job description and just giving me like, hey, you're a good match for this role.
Wow.
So it gives you scores here also.
Oh man.
It gives you the scores, the base salary, like what that salary should be. Uh, it lets you know what skills are the skills that are missing to that the resume. Also, it gives you the email address of the recruiter. The only caveat is that with using JobShare, you're only allowed five. So I'd rather just go to the person's like LinkedIn and just use Scrap just to kind of get their email and then boom.
Mm.
But like I said, so you can do that, and also it gives you like the company the insight. So letting you know like where the company is, the company size, their competitors, which is dope. I think that should pop up.
That's amazing.
Yeah, similar companies. So if hey, if I like this company, maybe I'll want to check out these three also. Gives you all of like their social profiles. For companies who had just like like funding rounds, like that's also there. That's also like a key thing. Like, hey, this company just raised like their their Series A. That means that they're looking to hire. So that's something that everybody should be on top of, just in case. But JobShare works on LinkedIn and Indeed. Those are the two sites. I think there's other sites that it works on, but these are the two sites that I've tried. So for Indeed, it's literally like the same thing. Um, Hopefully the thing should pop up. Jobs. There you go. And the cool thing is, I believe it saves your searches. So if I'm using like multiple like job boards to check it out, um, I can just keep on using like the same search.
Mm.
So
That's amazing.
same search is still here. Search job. I'll choose the level, entry level, job type, full time. No, just do full time. And then it searches Indeed with a very focused like Boolean search again, and then same thing. I'm able to kind of look at the job and compare my resume to that job. But like I said before, once you sign in, it gives you a lot more things to look at. Like it'll give you like the skills that are not there on compared to the job description to the your resume. So I can switch jobs and it'll just do the same thing over again. So the first job I was a good match. This one should be fixing up data analytics. Yeah, it's going now.
Nice.
Does like this same thing. And this is at a PayPal. So if I click on more, um, revenue 17.7 billion,
Mm.
funding round, IPO. Something I will say is if you are applying for a company that is public, definitely look at the investor relations page of that company. Reason being is because it gives you something to talk about. I myself, I'm very heavily involved within like the stocks. So I look at these reports whenever they just like come out. Like yesterday, Apple released like their I think Q4 results of last year. And just with when you're listening into these calls or listening at their or looking at whatever like decks they have, you get to see like this is their focus for this year and this is what's happening. This is like the move that like they're taking. Like for Apple, they're not using like they're using their own chip now. So they're very focused of keeping all Apple products Apple made. So knowing that you can reach out to like somebody like, hey, I know the company is doing such and such. This sounds like a great like a great move, or I heard this is happening. It's just a way to kind of get that
Mm.
conversation started. So um, really pay attention to see if your company that you're looking for is public. Because
Mm.
if it is, that's an easy thing that you can just just like speak up. And on top of that, you get to learn more about like these the companies too, just by reading like the papers and stuff like that.
Yeah, one thing I've used in the
Mhm.
past, like one thing I noticed, and I forget the job board it was. I use sometimes. Oh, probably AngelList, I think it was that. Um,
Mhm.
I kind of look at their rounds to see if they're an active company because sometimes like and for me personally, I get worried if like I'm putting on this investment into a company and I'm trying to apply and go through the motions
Yep.
that they're not gonna be around in 4 months, in 3 months
Mhm.
or 6 months. I was like that
Yeah.
for me is an indicator of, like, do I even bother or do I just put them in like
Mhm.
in a totem pole of like number 5 or 10 company out of my top 10.
Yeah,
So it's like there's other things other indicators that you can pick up from like learning about what you just mentioned, like the revenue and the rounds of
exactly.
collecting money from people and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and companies like if they're public, they have to say like, "Yo, we're losing millions of dollars this quarter," so they have to be open
We broke.
about
Oh man.
Yeah, so it's good. It's good to kind of just kind of get your head wrapped around like what's going on within like these companies because if they're public, it's all out there. So why not even just take the time to kind of just look at it.
Yeah, man.
Um,
This is great.
so last thing before I go, for all of the builders out there, uh, if you check the career page, I believe it's on
Hmm.
right.
Yeah, it's on the career page and the job boards page.
Yeah,
And
so definitely check that out. Like I mentioned, like I said, I'm actively working with companies that are looking to hire. These companies I don't have a contact at, but if you do have an interest, definitely let me know. And I'm going to be updating this job board every week with like new jobs, getting rid of old jobs, just to kind of keep it fresh. My rule is if the job is out there for like 30 days, that means that they're having like a hard time to you know, to kind of fill it. But we have full time roles, internship roles, so you can kind of get the best of both worlds depending on where like you're at now. Um, and also, if you do, when I'm talking to these companies that are hiring now, if you do want me to have your resume on hand, so I can be like, hey, Eddie's looking for this role. Boom, here's his resume. Um, definitely check out the link here to kind of fill out the form to drop your resume with me, just because I'm actively looking for these companies that are hiring. So if role pops up and we know, I'll definitely let them when I am sharing it. And like I said, I will be removing all of your like your name, your email, your phone number, anything that doesn't need to be seen. It will be removed. Um, also, here we have some resources. But
hey, Derek, I think we're losing you. Hey, Derek, you hear me? I think we lost you here. But uh, I can't hear you, nor I can see you. But I think you were talking about uh the resources page here. We have cover letters and worksheets and samples of that, and some tracking tool that you can use to for job interviewing, which I'm going to use myself, and in addition to some helpful links uh, that Derek had spoke about throughout this talk. So the job scan, the job hero, scrap, job seer, and 400 Slack communities, which I'm not sure what that's about, but it sounds like there are 400 communities that you can join. So I'm hoping that's I'm not misquoting you, Derek, but um, yeah. So this is a great resource. This is an exclusive for Built by Builders. So if you want to kind of find out what this is about, please join Built by Builders Discord community. You can reach out to Derek or myself to learn more about the community and join us so that you can be part of the conversation. And we're gonna be doing more of talks like this as far as like how to like create a resume and some resume tips. And we plan to have some other developers, including myself, to just kind of do some talks and have some conversations about how to become a better engineer. What are some tips and tricks? Show us some projects and things like that, and also other builders like design builders, some HR builders, whoever wants to come on. We're pretty much an open platform for anyone to come on and do a talk like this. And if you missed it, that's fine. It will be on my YouTube channel called. You can find me on YouTube. Built by Getroman is the YouTube channel, so you can find me there. All this stuff will be on YouTube, and you can watch it over and over again. And Derek, I'm not sure if you hear me, but you may want to, if you want to say a couple words before we bounce, you may want to get off and get back on real quick because you definitely faded away. and I don't hear anything or see anything from you. I see your green box populating itself, but we're not hearing anything. So I'm not sure if you lost connection there. But yeah, I'll give you a minute to get back on, and then I'll just peace out after this. But yeah, so Built by Builders, jump on. It's open to a lot of pretty much anybody who wants to get on. But our niche in our like direct uh, builders that we want to attract are underserved population, and we want to connect those folks. So you can find Derek Stroman on LinkedIn. You can hit him up on the Built by Builders Discord community. He's on there actively. So don't be afraid to reach out to him. Use his tips and tricks. I'm gonna be using them for definitely using them right after this. I've never really had a strategy about like looking for work to this extent. So I'm very thankful for that. So Derek, thank you if you hear me. Thank you for providing those resources. And yeah, I think that's all I have for now. And I'm not sure, Derek, where have you gone? If you can hear me. And let's actually try to get you back on here. I'm gonna close this if you hear me, and then let's reconnect in the builders room. Doing this live. All right, so let's do this here. Let me get back on.
Be posting this video up pretty soon for those who weren't able to watch it. So definitely take a listen. Um,
Oh, there you
you can
go.
find me on like LinkedIn under.
Hey,
You
Derek.
good, Eddie?
Yeah, yeah. You were.
Yeah.
I guess you were talking when I was. You disappeared for the past like 3 minutes.
Oh damn.
Yeah, 3 4 minutes. Like, so you may want to go back a little bit. I did my spiel on you, like, cause
Okay.
you was moving, but like nothing was happening, and I guess it was weird. But anyway,
Okay.
just go back like 3 or 4 minutes, and yeah, pick it up from there if you don't mind.
All right. Cool. Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
No. So this job tracker and this interview tracker is here for you. Just when you use it, just make sure that you make a copy. It tracks the company that you were trying to apply to, the link to the job posting. When did you send your thank you notes? When did you have the interview? Did you send your follow up email? So if you haven't heard from them in like a while, wait like a week or two and then send like that follow up. Um, it's broken down into three like separate interviews just because you don't know how many rounds like you'll be having, and with the test for the assessment, if you're going for like a coding role, a lot of the times you'll have they want to see what you do know, so they'll probably give you like a hacker rank or something like that. So you can see like, hey, when did I take the test? Did I take the test? Date I completed it, and the day I let them know that I finished that test, and then you'll can send your a follow up. Next is the networking. This is always important just to kind of keep track of all the people that you came in contact with. It's good to kind of just keep that fresh because let's say for instance, if you reach out to like somebody and like they're hiring, and the fact that you reached out to them, you'll probably get access to that role. And it probably the role hasn't even been posted yet. So being the first to kind of get access to that role and using your contacts, like I said before, that's a very, very active strategy. It's very, very, it will be very useful when you're searching for jobs. And then the last tab here is like how to use the tracker, just in case you get lost. But just it's 10 easy steps. Definitely take a look at it. Like I said, when you download this, make sure you make a copy of it. It's very crucial that you make a copy first so you can have your own. But this will be in the hold on, let me just go back to the website and to the website that's posted on the jobs page as well as the career page. Um, you'll have access to these resources here. Like I said, I will be adding more. But in the meantime, between time, if you are looking for roles, definitely drop your resume just so I can bring you up in conversation when I'm talking to these hiring managers. Um, as if I can help you either get to that first step, I'll be more than happy to help. But I hope you all like learning something new. If you do have questions or comments, definitely find me. My name is Elroy Jets in the chat. Definitely just hit me up, send me a DM, and just let me know what's up.
Yeah, for sure. Yo, Derek, thank you, man. I really appreciate it 100%. These are definitely gems. I'm gonna be using them. I'm gonna drop my resume in there as well. And all the tips and strategies on passive and active job seeking were immaculate. I never thought about using them in that form or fashion, and so I'm definitely gonna start doing that as well and connecting with you and like event that be the was that the person in the forefront for the builders to be an example, so that others could do the
Yeah.
same and use your strategies and tips because they're definitely gold. Yeah, so I was mentioning while we disconnected that if this will be on on YouTube as well. So the channel will be it's called Built by Geltraman. So I'll definitely be you know doing some editing on this and just putting it out there on YouTube. So if anyone wants to rewatch it, feel free to do that. And we will be doing others down the road. Derek and I will be talking about other type of talks and videos we're gonna be putting together that's going to be like helpful for the community and for everyone else as well. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say, man. I really appreciate it, Derek. You've been great, man. Like I really appreciate the time you put into this. Been extremely helpful, man. So yeah, thank you. Man, this was great. I'm
No
pretty
problem,
I'm
man.
pretty
No
I'm
problem.
yeah I'm pretty stoked with
Yeah,
this. Yeah. All right, man. So yeah, have a good one, and
yeah. But
we'll see you soon. Yeah, go ahead.
all right, all right. No, no. I was just gonna say bye. That's all.
All right, cool. All right, Derek. Peace, man.
All
I'll
right.
holler at you. Take care.
See you.